I'm here today to, inshallah, tell you a bit my motivation in coming to the religion of Islam. My name is Yusuf Ali. That's my new Muslim name. My first reactions with Islam were kind of to counter it, actually. So the first information that I obtained about Islam, I was actually obtaining it because I thought that it was wrong. And a good friend of mine, my brother, who is with me today in the audience, who's a good friend of mine, was the first one to tell me about Islam. And when I heard his explanations on it, I thought that he's a good guy, he's a good friend of mine, but that Islam is something backwards, that I should maybe try and help him come out of it. So actually, my first reaction to Islam was to fight it, and more as I got this information that I had to use as an argument, perhaps against him, slowly just changed me. Not that I wanted to accept Islam, but that I got some comfort, first from reading a translation of Quran and any information I might have. So just that my intentions were actually not good, but even so, I was still getting some benefit from it. So after some time, my brother Altaf invited me to come to the mosque with him, and this was a big experience for me. It was very, I was going out of cultural curiosity, not with any intention to embrace the religion of Islam, but I had a lot of comfort there. And the first thing that struck me was the warmth and the complete friendship that I saw happening between strangers in many cases, in a way that I'd never really seen it before. And this had a pull on me, and I enjoyed it, and I expressed some enthusiasm at perhaps returning to the mosque. So as time progressed, my colleague Altaf and I used to work together, and we both had a lunch break, one after the other, and I would have to wait for him to return from lunch break to go on my own break. And sometimes on the Friday, he would return late, and I would kind of give him a hard time about it. I would say, "Why are you late? I'm hungry, I want to go for lunch." And at this point, he explained to me that he was going for a Jummah prayer. So he invited me to go with him, and I attended the Jummah prayer, also the khutbah, which is the speech before the prayer itself. And this time, I really decidedly, it was something that I liked. I got some warmth from it, some peace, and it really started me in the direction of Islam. Between then and my next visit, I read a lot, informed myself a lot, and I subconsciously made the decision that Islam was the path of guidance. But I didn't have the courage to really make the step. I was afraid of the reaction that I might get from my parents, and I didn't see the necessity in embracing Islam, that I could maybe just benefit from this information without being an actual Muslim. But later on, I had the opportunity to meet a young man, much like myself, similar age, who had gone through a similar situation and had in turn embraced Islam. And actually, that's one of the reasons that I'm happy to speak today, in the hopes that maybe some non-Muslims might hear anything that I have to say. So this brother Sebastian, for me, this was something of the heart, embracing Islam, something that I did passionately. But what interested me with him is that he was a very logical and calculated person. His whole reason for embracing Islam was logic, and he had such concise, logical reasons to come to Islam that it showed me a different side. And after talking with him longly, I guess he saw in me that I had already made my decision, and he urged me to take my shahada. And mashallah, I took my shahada that same day with my colleague Altaf and my newfound friend Sebastian together with me. And that was my first big step. That was late June, almost 2 years ago. And since then, I've been progressing. I've had certain obstacles. First one of them was my parents, their initial reaction to it. My parents are very, very nice people. God bless them. And they're very accepting, but unfortunately in the current mainstream there's some very negative information about Islam. They do watch a lot of television and read the newspapers, and so for them they associate it to all the political troubles that might be plaguing the world. They associate this to Islam. So seeing their son being involved in such a thing revolted them. My father actually told me that he doesn't mind any religion I take in this world, just not Islam. And so actually I told him that Islam is the only religion for me, and we've had many difficult times between then, but with the will of Allah, my parents have slowly seen the change in me, that I am more mature, and also I've become more of a caring person, and my whole dynamics have changed, and they like it. They don't really accept that it's due to Islam. They won't verbalize it. But I know in their heart they see that most of these positive things have come from Islam. So actually my parents now, we are at a point where we are not shouting at each other, we're not arguing, but it's very difficult for me to talk about Islam with them at all. And it would be very important for me that they would gain an understanding on it, and I always have in my heart the thought that perhaps one day they might embrace Islam, and also my two younger sisters. So inshallah, this is a big goal for me. This is my story, and I would like to say Jazakallah to Muhammad and the brothers here for inviting me to speak. We're having a hard time getting in touch with each other, but I'm happy I could make it. And I would like to say Alhamdulillah for this meeting. I think it's very good, and I'm anxious to hear the stories from my other brothers. Thank you.